see any issue with the way the situation being described?
It can't be gender stereotypes, it can't be calling people powerhouses.
Don't get distracted. Don't try to match it up. What's the problem? What's wrong with that? You got to think critically. You've got to put that lens on. Imagine, especially the females should get it in here. But if you're a boy, you think about if you're a female, what would it be like if someone said that they won you?
Oh my God! Nope.
Just write it down. What did you guys talk about? I know you're writing. Yes. What did you guys And now you're writing. What did you guys decide on? It's also like it shows them as being most important related to, right? They're not equals. Right, right. Write all that down. Really good connections and associations. Jefferson, what's going on? You gotta be writing something. So here's one. A lot of people are getting too caught up in trying to figure out which one it is. Don't do that first. Just read it and figure out what the problem is. Don't try to match it up with one, but try to think, with a feminist lens, why is this language problematic? What's wrong with the way the situation is described, in your own words?
So it says here it has use one hero.
It doesn't say how. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You guys seem to struggle a little bit, but then you got it once you thought about it for a while. It's tough to put this lens on. It's a very critical lens, and it's not a way that we're used to reading or thinking. So it may take some time. But there's a word in here that's really important, and it really shows an unfair and unequal power. There's also a gender stereotype, okay? And there's also unequal importance. But it all relies on this one word. What is that word, Herbert? One. Okay? Now you heard me, or maybe you didn't, but while you were working, I wanted you to try to put yourself in the position of someone who is written about as being one. How would you feel if someone said they won you? Ebony?
I would feel offended because it's like they treat me as an object.
Yes. The woman here is treated as an object, a prize, a trophy, a thing. Not another human being. Not a human being that has a choice. Right? She didn't get to decide that she wanted or did not want to be with Zeus. And if you remember the story, she didn't like him. She didn't want to be with him. He tricked her. And he got what he wanted, and they said he won her. This is very, very subtle. Meaning it's difficult to see on the surface. We've really got to put this lens on and think critically. This is not a fair way to describe a relationship. Okay? It shows an improper balance that the men have the power and they get to decide. The women do not have control over what they get and what they don't get. Abigail?
Like how I said in the first class with you, like how also how Zeus was like the gender stereotypes. That Zeus had to chase the girl, and Hera's like she's like she like how you said she doesn't have a say like on what she wants, and like for a girl is like just to be like attractive and everything. Like you're supposed to be Zeus was the chaser and she was being the one chased. So it's like it's sort of saying that that's the way it goes. So.
Yeah, that is a stereotype. There's a very common stereotype that the man chases the woman and then when he gets her, it's like he got something, right? That he's won. He's achieved what he's needed to achieve. That is a stereotype. That is not the way things have to be or should be. All right? I give you a merit for that, Abigail. It was very thoughtful to think of that. Okay? Let's flip over to the next side. Last page. Now we're going to do one more with our shoulder partners because based on how you guys did, I feel like you need a little bit more practice bouncing ideas off each other and talking it through first. But we're going to skip to E. Okay? We're going to skip to E to work with our shoulder partners. We are working with E right now. I'm going to repeat it one more time because in the last class when I gave instructions, I had people not following directions. We're working with E. Can I have a volunteer read E out loud? Victoria.
They listened well to their daughter and obeyed her, and they revealed to her everything that was fated to come about concerning Cronus the king and his strong spirits.
Great. This one is not easy. It may take you like a minute or two to look at the words that are used, the way that they describe the characters and the situation. To give you some context, this is when Rhea is so upset that she goes to get advice from her parents, Gaia and Uranus, okay, to figure out what to do with her next child. She wants to save it. She doesn't want it to get swallowed by Cronus, so she goes to them for advice. Work with your shoulder partner. What's problematic? Now, before you begin, I noticed what a lot of people were doing. Track me, please. Don't write. What a lot of people were doing is they would read it and they try to match it up. Don't do that. Don't try to match it up right away. Just in your own words, with your shoulder partner, what do you think is problematic about this? What seems to be an issue if we're looking at it with a feminist lens? And then once you figure out the problem, then you can try to match it up with one of these. Okay? Go ahead and begin. You have 5 minutes. No, there's a lot in here. Yeah, this one is just very common. So that's one issue, right? That too, right? Especially when you're a stereotype is a common belief about a specific group of people. So it could be boys or girls. It could be black, white, Hispanic, or Asian. It could be old people. It could be young people. It could be people without jobs. Any group of people, there's a belief about them that they're all that way. But it's not specific. Yeah. Like there's a lot of stereotypes, like racial stereotypes, right? About white people not being able to date. About black people being really good at basketball. Or Hispanic people playing soccer. You know, like, there's all these stereotypes, right? Yes, there are a lot of them. This is very complicated. Just pick one of those. You read right about all of them. Any of those are good. Good. Good connection. Oh, wow. This is good. I haven't thought about this. I think that's really strong. We didn't talk about that. It's a really, really critical way of reading. Yes. How do you feel about this one?
I think it's on gender stereotype.
Which one?
That women have feelings and men don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like the woman doesn't care if he eats his son or not.
You don't like it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I noticed you guys getting much better this time around, much quicker. And this was a difficult one. It's very complex. There's a lot going on. So I think we're ready to begin doing this independently. But let's take a look at a student sample here.